What up? What up? What up? Um, hi, hi, Tierra D. Thanks for joining early. Cool Blue, Cool Blue. Thanks for joining early. What's going on? Leah, how you doing? I'm glad to know that my videos have been helpful. Um, Annalise, how you doing? How you doing? Tina, Haley, don't worry. What's going on? What's going on? I didn't know if anybody was going to join me. I normally don't get into the comment section early, like while waiting. I usually be busy up until the point that I push the live button. But man, I didn't realize that everybody was going to be filing in real quick. How are y'all notifications? A lot of people aren't getting their notifications about my lives, which I find out after I do the live. People comment the next day, like, "Are you live now?" No, I'm not live now. I'm glad that you all got your notifications. I guess we can get started. We seem to have a good amount of people in the room already. That was quick. Um, and it went from 4 to 100 in like 10 seconds. Um, so, anyway, for anybody who's not still on the date this Saturday night, welcome. For the people who had dates and got off early, welcome. For the people who are looking for a date, welcome. Um, I didn't do a video this weekend because I just had a lot going on. I had to help my wife with some homework that required two people. I don't think these schools realize how much investment they're actually asking from some of these people when they make up these assignments, and you have people who aren't even in school doing as much homework as people who are in school. So anyway, I've been helping my wife with some homework this week, and my son had a party today. So it was just a busy weekend. I didn't have time to film and then edit a video down for 4 hours. So I figured I'd just try to talk to you guys tonight and at least touch you. It doesn't equal the amount of views I would have got had I released a video, but at least it keeps my inbox a little bit lighter. I found that these lives help my inbox, help keep people out of my inbox because a lot of people get their answers here. And, instead of 120 emails a week, I might get 60 if I've gone live and answered 40 questions, so it helps. So I guess we're gonna get into it. We got a good amount of activity already in the comment section. I know it's gonna keep coming. Somebody said, "Hello, how are you? I love your videos. You speak the truth." I try. I absolutely try. I'm speaking my truth anyway. I don't speak in absolutes. I'm just giving y'all my truth, my perspective. If it's valuable to you, that's wonderful. But some people don't agree with everything I say. Some people don't agree with anything I say, and that's fine too. I'm not here to agree with everybody. I'm just here to share my truth and hopefully help somebody. Somebody says, so my question is, I just can't get a guy. Is there something wrong with you? Is there something wrong with me? Uh, there's something wrong with us all, but I don't think that there's probably anything particularly unsavory about you. I just think that sometimes we hit these dry points in our dating life where we try to find somebody and we just can't seem to match with anybody. I've known really, really charismatic, nice looking people who have these same dry spells. I've had a dry spell before I was married and I was dating. I had a lengthy dry spell. My best friend, who's very, very handsome and charismatic and good with ladies, he had a long, long dry spell. I've known very, very beautiful women have dry spells. Sometimes you just strike out for a while. So I wouldn't internalize anything, but if you're flawed. And we are flawed to a degree, but you already know if there is something wrong with you. Usually, because everybody tells you the same effed up thing about yourself when they're upset. So if you do have some flaws that overshadow you, overshadow your personality or the better parts of your traits and your personality, then there's some improvement that we can all make. But to answer your question, I don't think anything is wrong with you just because you can't seem to get a guy now. And a lot of times people ask that question and they know exactly what's wrong with them. They just don't want to. They don't want to put the work in to fix it. So I can't see you or figure you out from that question alone. But like some people understand exactly what they need to do, but they don't want to have to do it. So they look for validation outside of the thing that they know they're avoiding. And so if you know there's something wrong with you, just fix it. There's no point in living your whole life hoping someone overlooks the flaw that you can't even overlook. Um, and a lot of times, especially with weight issues, a lot of women deal with that. I can't tell if that's an issue for you or not, and it wouldn't matter because there's a man who will love you regardless. But sometimes, if you can't get over something about yourself, trying to require someone else to, it just seems a bit counterintuitive. And so, just be your best self, and you'll find somebody eventually. You'll find someone who appreciates you for you. Hey, Kev, how are you? I'm great. It's been a long day. It was so long, in fact, I needed a nap. Like I told you guys, I'm an introvert. I'm an omnivert or ambivert, whatever. I'm sleepy. I'm an ambivert, but I'm really an introvert at heart, and I really get drained when I'm around a lot of people. And there was a lot of people over my house today, and it just gave me a headache, and I just needed a nap. And so I woke up not too long ago, and so I feel fresh. But I'm only gonna try to stay on here till about 1:30 because we got to get back on top of this Spanish homework uh, because my wife has a shit ton of it. I don't speak Spanish. It's the only class I ever failed. I failed Spanish 1 and 2 in high school. Killed my GPA. But God, I just did myself a disservice. I don't know why I went to Spanish 2 after basically passing it with a D. I just no hablo español, man. That's just how it is with me. So I'm trying to now join my wife in her college level Spanish class, and it's just not working out for me, but she's getting something from it. Anyway, let me get back to y'all questions. Enough about me. What up, Kev? Nothing. I'm chilling. Keep up the great work. We appreciate you, brother. I appreciate y'all watching. Somebody said my notifications are fine. Yeah, I get a lot of questions and complaints about people not getting their notifications, but that's a YouTube issue. That's broad across YouTube. A lot of people aren't getting their notifications. It's very frustrating for us because our notifications are a large percentage of our views, and so when people don't know we're live or we're doing videos, we get less views, and so it just affects everything. Tell them to click the notification button at the end of your video. Absolutely, I need to tell them that. I'm just not the best self promoter. Sometimes when I'm finished, like at the end of a video, I'm so tired. I just want to stop recording. Like I said, I usually film at about this time or later, like 2 in the morning a lot of times. So people always like, "You high?" No, I'm just tired. It's the end of the day, literally for me. So I just be forgetful. At the end of the day, I always forget to do the self promoting. Hey, watch this video if you haven't watched it, or click on this if you haven't, or click the notification bell, or buy a T-shirt, or donate to my PayPal, join me on Patreon. All that shit, I just forget about it. I just be trying to get off the damn camera, to be honest. I need to do better, but until then, we'll be all right. Hi from Cali. What's going on, Cali? What's going on, Cali? I get a lot of love from Cali. It's a big state, so not surprising. Somebody said, "Good hubby." Yeah, I try, man. I help my wife out a lot. I try, and she helps me out a lot. We make a good team. Somebody said, "Just left my boyfriend too on the way home." I don't know if you mean left him like love. Man, it's raining. Where I'm at, it's been wet all day. It's been extremely rainy. Let me try to get into some content for y'all. Okay, so I'm finding some questions finally. Okay, so somebody said, "What do you do when a guy starts ignoring you but still watches your Snapchat stories?" I feel like if a guy's ignoring you, but he's still seeking you out, he's probably in a position where he can't talk to you. He probably has another relationship or something that's making him unavailable, or something about you he likes, even physically, but he can't commit to. So I guess that would depend on the relationship and the rapport you had built before he started ignoring you. But usually when a guy is still looking at your social media, still stalking your social media, but not making contact, it's because he has another woman and he maybe found himself a relationship and he's trying not to cross any lines, but you still like social media stalk your crushes. So that's how it happens. And just because a guy is is entertained by you, or you may be his muse and he's looking at your Snapchat stories, doesn't mean he sees any value outside of physicality. So it really means nothing. If the guy's ignoring you, then that's the only thing that matters. Whether or not he looks at your Snapchat stories is inconsequential. Somebody said, do you think the way women dress can turn a man off to the point where he won't talk to you even if he's interested? Yeah, some guys are a bit weary about how women dress, and a man can be completely interested in you and be so turned off by the way you present yourself that it scares him out of talking to you, and he'll force himself to just move on. I've known women like that. I've known women that were extremely attractive in a lot of ways, but for whatever reason, there was something about them that that just was a turn off. And sometimes it's just such a it's such a big deal to some people how you present yourself. Partly because some people care about what people think of them. So if a guy is very conservative and he wants to be seen a certain way, and then you dress in a very sexual way, um, I don't think that it's necessarily him judging you, but it's his fear of how people will judge him in hanging out with you or being around you or having you as a girlfriend. People have a lot of insecurities about being judged and being looked down on. And so sometimes you can't let a person's insecurity define how you feel. But at the same time, if you're looking to impress that type of guy, then that matters to you. So, while it's his problem, it becomes your problem if you want better results with that type of guy. But yeah, you can turn a man off with the way you dress, absolutely, even if he's interested. I'll force myself to look somewhere else if I feel like someone's dangerous for me. Somebody said, I just started watching you. Keep up the good videos. I appreciate it. Somebody said, how do you know you're not settling after a dry spell? I suppose you're not settling if you actually are excited to speak to the person you're talking to, if you're enjoying yourself, if you're having fun, if you feel fulfilled. If you're settling, then you're not really feeling any kind of gratification. You're just taking up space and time. So if you're generally bored with the person that you're talking to and you have no excitement or vigor about seeing them or talking to them or spending any time in their presence, then you're probably settling. I've known people to start out settling and ultimately fall in love with the person they were settling for. So that happens, but at the same time, I wouldn't recommend settling. But I know that there are a lot of people who've been lonely long enough to where settling doesn't seem like a bad idea. And you can't really tell somebody what to do until you sit in a dark room alone. Hoping to just meet somebody that accepts you. You know what I'm saying? So like some people come from a very dark place. So, I can say never settle, but you can't tell a truly lonely person not to settle. It just doesn't make any sense. Like they just want a companion, somebody, anybody. The problem is that if you're really lonely and you couple that with a bit of depression, then you have a tendency to medicate yourself with the relationships and the company of another person, and that can be very dangerous. So that's how you're settling. If you're not really fulfilled, you're not excited. You don't have to have butterflies, but you do have to obviously have some kind of joy about spending time with that person. Let me see. Somebody says, "Speak, Kevin." Maybe she's saying like I don't know, preach or something. That's what's up. I'm speaking. I think I'm speaking. My mouth work a little bit. Somebody said I'm too angry and still hurting. That happens. Ambivert. Yeah, man. I got tongue twisted. Somebody said, can a guy truly know he wants to marry you after 2 months? Also, if he wants to travel internationally, I hope I make sense. If he wants you to travel internationally. So if you're referring to meeting a guy who's overseas, long distance, who wants to marry you, then that gets a bit more complicated. But yes, after 2 months, a guy can know if he wants to marry you. Some people have been married after 2 weeks. It's rare. It's not. It doesn't make the most sense, and I wouldn't recommend that. But at the same time, I've known people who have had that same thing happen, and it's worked out very well for them. So yes, a guy can absolutely know he wants to marry you after 2 months, but I think that that's no reason to rush. And if you're in a long distance situation, you should really take your time with that. Just because of the distance, people rush that a lot of times, but you just don't know enough about a person, especially if you haven't lived with them or been around them or shared space with them and felt their energy. You just don't know enough about a person to be thinking about marriage at all. So if it's an international long distance relationship, I wouldn't say a guy would know enough about you to want to marry you. I say a guy can fantasize about you and he can create a character about you in his head that he wants to marry. And again, if he's coming from a very lonely place, marrying someone I hardly know feels a lot better in my head, in my daydream, than staying alone in this room when no one cares about if I come home at night. No one cares about if I'm okay. No one is helping me when I'm sick. No one is supporting me through my issues. So you have to put everything into perspective. A lot of people deal with loneliness, and so it makes these extreme commitments seem more worthwhile when they've experienced the depths of loneliness. So yes, a guy can know, but it's unlikely to be a good idea. Take your time in these relationships, people. Okay, Miss Perfectly Imperfect. Boy, you hit every live. I appreciate you. You a night owl like me though. I said, I always seem to be attracted to guys I like way more than they like me. What can I do to stop entertaining guys like this and start giving a chance to guys who pay me more attention? I do exactly that. I'm almost positive you've met men who have liked you or had a crush on you, and for whatever reason, they didn't give you butterflies right away. They didn't intrigue you, and so you just kept them at bay, and they didn't get a chance. You went after the guy who gave you the butterflies, who made you daydream and things of that nature, and that's fine. That's wonderful. But it tends to make a woman chase unavailable men or men who aren't into them. Like you said, the problem is you're expecting the fantasy is to have a relationship with this guy who hasn't really made you haven't really made an imprint on, right? He's made an impression on you, but it's not mutual. And so, if you say, "What can I do to stop entertaining guys like this and start giving guys who pay me attention more attention?" You just have to do exactly that. Start giving the guys who have a crush on you a chance. Maybe give your number out to a nice guy who is fond of you, and see where it goes. It doesn't. You don't have to do anything, but let that nice guy take you on a date that has a crush on you. He might be more exciting than you think he is. I think a lot of times people underestimate men that they haven't chosen, and that's one of the issues. Is that you assume low value of a person just because you didn't notice them first. And so that can be very dangerous, and it can lead it can lead to a lot of issues. So just exactly how you wrote it, give them a chance. Lynette Park says, question, I was wondering what's the best way to get back in the dating scene after you've been single for 2 years and you keep meeting the same type of guys that only want sex and you're tired of feeling used? Well, first of all, don't give up to sex and you won't feel as used. Especially if you don't know these men and there's no real rapport. There's no real rapport being built. Obviously there's a very low time investment if you're meeting these guys who only want sex. It doesn't take very long to realize that a guy only wants sex. So if you're giving the sex up, then you're exchanging that sex in exchange for the hope of a commitment or a building process. Very, very, very soon, too soon actually. And I would say if you've been out of the dating scene for a while, and you keep meeting the same type of guys, then you might need to switch your pond. Like I said, they say, well, there's a lot of fish in the sea, but there are a lot of seas too. There are a lot of bodies of water. You can be fishing in the same pond for a bit too long, and a lot of the guys in certain areas and in certain ecosystems of dating seem to contaminate each other, and there seems to be a culture in certain ponds, for metaphorically speaking. And so switch ponds, switch streams, fish in a different place. If you're on a particular website or you're talking to guys from a particular side of town, switch sides. Like just change the source of where you're finding these people to try to net you some different results, and immerse yourself in a different type of culture of men, because there are a lot of different ecosystems just geographically speaking, there are a lot of different ecosystems and a lot of different ways that men deal with women. And so you don't want to keep fishing in the same, like if you're searching for the good guy in the same area code, for instance, well, if that area code has a particular way that everybody's doing everything, people ultimately contaminate themselves and contaminate each other with these ways of just living. It becomes the culture of an area to do certain things, and you can be in a bad city where men just don't value women because everything moves fast in that city and people don't value themselves, and so it's very easy to start meeting the same types of people, and that's why I always suggest that people switch the dating ecosystems that they immerse themselves in. Go to a different side of town, go to a different side of town, date over there, try that. Get on the internet, pick a different area code or something and try that. Even a different website, that you haven't tried. Just anything to get yourself out of the same dating pool you've been shopping in. Somebody said, "What do you say to those who are broken and don't feel we can be fixed?" I think everyone can be improved. I think fixed is a perspective that I don't believe, or not a perspective, but a reality that I don't believe exists. I think we're all flawed, and while all of us aren't broken, all of us can make improvements, and even the broken of us can make improvements. And, I'm not sure why you wouldn't feel that you could be fixed, but everyone can make improvements, and everyone can elevate and evolve from where they are. And so, if a person doesn't feel like they can be fixed or evolve, then I would first tell them to try to go get some help, because that creates a feeling of hopelessness, thinking that you can't be helped. Or you can't improve. That creates a feeling of hopelessness, and hopelessness leads to depression, and it leads to very, very, very bad decision making, especially in the way of relationships. And so, when you start dealing with hopelessness, you start feeling like you can't be fixed or can't be helped. That's an indicator of depression and hopelessness. And you can't enter a relationship from a hopeless place, because it will thrust all the responsibility of your emotional health and emotional well-being onto the shoulders of the person that you date, which isn't fair. And it's more reckless and dangerous than just being alone, because you can't trust this person. If you're already unstable, then you can't trust this person to stabilize you. They might not be ready. They might not be equipped for that responsibility, and they might not be trustworthy. So you never want to approach a relationship from a broken place. Somebody said, "Hola, yo te." Hey, listen, tell you I failed Spanish. All right, I passed it with a D. He said, I made pretty decent grades. I was all right. You know what I'm saying? I was an ABC student, but them damn Spanish grades was D's. That was what I was coming with, them D's in Spanish. So I don't even know how to ayudo con el see, we doing that. I wish I could throw a couple $100 at somebody to do my wife's homework and get us out of the way, but I'm gonna try to keep my integrity about this. She don't need the help. I don't want to need the help, but I ain't in Spanish class. Let me see. Somebody said you look tired. I probably am a little bit tired, man. I had a long day. I had 3 consultations today. We had a party for my son, who's 4. It's not his birthday. We just threw a party. It was a long day. It was a lot of people in my house, a lot of energy to balance, and so I'm probably a little bit ran down today, but I've taken a nap, so I just woke up not too long ago. I'm probably still shaking the cobwebs off. That's why I seem tired. Somebody said, "Facts, Kev. I found so much peace in focusing on loving and improving myself. Now, Ninjas is in line trying to get some time." Absolutely. When people sense stability, tax and accounting 911, a really cool name. It's probably a business account. When people sense stability, it draws them into you. When people sense mess and chaos, it draws them away from you. And so it can kind of be a self-fulfilling prophecy when you say, well, I can't seem to find anybody. I can't be fixed. Something is wrong with me. You say these things, and they absolutely they become your reality. They come true because it doesn't help alleviate the chaos. It doesn't help provide any clarity for you in your life, and it only further hinders your growth to be in a defeated place. And so when you approach any issue from the standpoint of improving yourself and loving yourself and doing what's best for you, you always start to look more attractive to everyone else, because people gravitate toward people who have something that they want. People watch my videos because I have a perspective that they want. People are attracted to certain people because they have joy. Yeah, people are attracted to joy. People are attracted to wisdom. People are attracted to intellectual depth. People are attracted to knowledge, awareness, consciousness. Like everybody has something to offer. And so if you have what you have to offer on display, people will be attracted to you. If you start to think that you have nothing to offer, then you don't have any bait. It's like fishing with no bait. You're just a hook. There's nothing on the hook. Nothing for anybody to bite on. And so you have to find a way to let your light shine in such a way that someone has something to bite on. And if you don't feel like you have a light, then you need to get yourself some help and get your light turned back on. You need to find out how to become more, how to feel like you're more, how to start loving yourself more, enough to make the evolution into having something to offer somebody. Because again, people are very attracted to self-improvement. They're very attracted to stability. They're very attracted to joy and happiness. And if you don't have those things to offer, then very few people will want to join you in your mess, or your perceived mess. Things might not even be that bad, but if a person can't perceive any happiness or any stability in you, and it only seems like you're a person who's chronically unlucky, unhappy, then it's just not an attractive trait. It's always going to draw people away from you. They say misery loves company, but yeah, I don't know no miserable ass people who's actually looking for a miserable ass person, to be more miserable. It doesn't happen that way. Miserable people make efforts to make other people miserable, but they damn sure don't want to go find a person as miserable as them to date. They trying to find somebody to upgrade them. That's just the nature of man. So, with that said, you have to have something to offer a person energetically for them to want to be drawn to you. Somebody said, what do you do when you've been with a man for 12 years, have a kid, but seems like you grew distant? How long do I and him try to stay together? If you've been with a man for 12 years, first of all, 12 years is a lot of space and time for a lot of things to happen. So I don't know what you've come through. I don't know what you're going through. If you just feel like you're growing distant, there's always ways to level up on the intimacy. Man, I haven't done a blog in a while, but if you go to my website, I did a blog a while ago. I think it was like how to increase the intimacy in your relationship. How to what was it called? It wasn't. Yeah, it was something about intimacy. I think if I'm not mistaken, the picture is as of like a black couple smiling and laughing. Man, free pictures are very hard to come by, and it's really hard to find free images of black people. But I think that's once like a black and white picture of some black people. If you go to my website, girltalkwithguys.com, I think it's how to increase the intimacy in your relationship. I think that blog might be of some use to you because it speaks about just how to build more general closeness. And it deals a lot with affection and just sharing of your energy with each other. I think sometimes you get into a business mindset in relationships, and it's very, very important to get back to the intimacy and the closeness and the longing that you have for each other. And it's hard to do that when you're distant and you don't have any direction. So I'll probably do a video on that because I'm getting a lot more people in relationships watching my video than before. It was just a bunch of single people. Or at least those were the people who were communicating with me. So maybe I'll make that blog a video and expound upon those ideas a bit to give somebody some perspective, because I can't explain it all to you here because it's just a lot. But there's absolutely a lot of ways that you can actually rebuild the intimacy and get back to a place where you're enjoying each other. So if I was you, I would go to my blog, girltalkwithguys.com. Look for go under the relationships tab. Look for how how something about intimacy. It's like how to have more intimacy in your relationship, or something of that along those lines. But read that blog and see if that doesn't help you. And I'll try to get on a video about that. I got like 4 or 5 videos that are like in the pipe. I haven't been able to film them because I've just been so busy. It's been a really really busy week. It's going to get busier for me, so I don't want to miss out. I'll probably drop a video about Tuesday. I'll probably try to get one filmed tomorrow. I just got to get all this Spanish homework. I got to get through all the Spanish homework with my wife because it's just a lot. But after tomorrow, I'll be back to filming. Somebody says, I wish I can find someone not playing games and cheating. How can I stop it? How can you stop people playing games and cheating? Uh, I guess you have to stop accepting it. You get what you accept from people. The behavior you tolerate is the behavior you will always receive. So if you tolerate cheating and you stick around for cheating, then you'll receive more cheating. I think people get exactly what people get exactly what they accept from people, and that's why standards are so important in relationships. You cannot somebody said expound, a bunch of question marks, I don't know. You can't accept shit from people that you don't want and then expect it to change. People won't obligate themselves to any responsibilities that aren't pressed upon them. And so if you don't require more, you don't get more, and that's just the bottom line. So do better about requiring more from the beginning. Let me see. I know I've got a lot of questions I'm missing and I haven't gotten to yet. I don't fully believe people are attracted to attributes other than physical beauty. Somebody said, I don't believe, Eric. Oh, okay. Somebody said, I don't believe people are fully. I don't fully believe that people are attracted to attributes other than physical beauty. There are tons of smart people, but they always get cheated on or left for the dumb, beautiful person. Yeah, but there are also a lot of dumb, beautiful people getting cheated on for smart intellectuals and witty people. I talk to a lot of people every day, and it's just, and then I do consultations with people, and I found that attractive people have just as many relationship problems as unattractive people. That's just like people are attracted to beauty, but it's not the only thing that people are attracted to. I've known very beautiful women that I didn't care for at all, just because they didn't have the other things that I value. There are a lot of different types of sexualities, and I'm not even going to get into the long list of made up sexualities, but many people are stimulated by mental and emotional, energetic, spiritual energy. It's not all about physicality with everyone. Generally, it seems that way because there's a lot of people who lack consciousness, but there are just as many attractive women and attractive men being cheated on with ugly people. No offense, shout out to people. But physical beauty isn't everything. And I've learned that more and more every day as I talk to people who are absolutely insanely gorgeous and still having relationship issues. Absolutely. Somebody said, fitness mom said, miserable people want happy people. Exactly. A miserable person is like a parasite. And I don't mean to disrespect the people who aren't happy. I'm just saying a miserable person is looking to suck away at the happiness of a more joyful person. It's how they heal themselves, and so you become the host for a miserable person. That's why I always advocate never entering a relationship from a miserable place, because you become a succubus, or succubus is a sexual, but you become a parasite to the person who has happiness and have joy, and it can go one or two ways. They can help you increase your joy and happiness, but most likely you'll just suck away at theirs because your life is in shambles and you got to get yourself together to have something to offer. Somebody at Life to Be Lived says 12 years in distance needs therapy. They absolutely need therapy. And like I said, it's about creating a new emotional intimacy And so if you've been together for 12 years and you're distant, you absolutely need therapy. Thank you, life to be lived. I can't think of everything as I'm talking. So there will always be some points missed in my very quick rundown of these larger concepts as I'm trying to get through these questions. But life to be lived, you hit it on the head. They definitely need some therapy. And I always advocate for therapy. If y'all watch my lives, y'all know I say the word therapy quite a bit. Somebody said, what is your opinion of love at first sight, not attraction, and no sex? I don't think that love at first sight exists. I think that a deep infatuation at first sight, maybe. I think that you can be in love with the fantasy that you have of a person, but you can't really love a person because you don't have anything to grasp outside of your attraction, and you can't be in love with anything based on just attraction. Love is a deeper emotion. Love is a result of experience. It's a result of sharing vulnerabilities. It's a result of intimacy, trust, admiration. You can't develop any of those things. And trust me, I'm shortchanging love here. We could talk for 30 minutes about what love is and what makes love what it is and what builds on love. But I can see a fine woman and she can have the nicest face and the nicest ass and the nicest breasts and the trimmest waists and the prettiest hands and feet and smell good, and I mean she can have the nicest skin. We can go down a list of the things that might attract me, or the next guy, but I can't love her because I don't have any background. When you see a person, all you see is the shell of them. That's not who they are. A person is a spirit with a body. And if you ever forget that, you can go look at a dead corpse. The body's right there, but the spirit's gone. And when you love somebody, it's their spirit that draws you in, and you cannot know a person's spirit by looking at them with your eyes. You can be attracted to someone spiritually, and that's unconscious. That's when your spirit agrees with a person's spirit. That's a whole different level. But you have to at least encounter that person's spirit. You can't look at them with your physical eyes and then decide that your spirit loves them. It's just not how that works. So I think love at first sight is a thing that people say when they try to justify their infatuation, but it's not. I don't think it's possible. And I'm not sure about the not attraction and no sex portion of the question. So forgive me for that. Somebody said, well, Kev, good night, everyone. It was great. Yeah, some people got to go to sleep. I understand. But I'm a night owl, so I'm up. Let me see. I appreciate your advice. I missed it. It just went, the whole comment section it just jumped around on me. Okay, somebody said, I really would like you to answer my question about how to get back into dating after a 14-year relationship. And I've been single for 5 years. Direct me to one of your videos. Okay, I absolutely have a video, and somebody will probably link it in the comment section if y'all want to be nice. Lucretia. I have a video called "Getting." The thumbnail says "Getting Back in the Game." It says "Getting Back in the Game," and the title is like "How to Reapproach Dating After Being Single or a Long Relationship," something like that. But if you go through my videos and you look for a thumbnail that says "Getting Back in the Game," I might have a gray shirt on. I can't remember. That's the video. It might be like 8 months old, maybe 10 months. It was a while ago, but I did the video, and a lot of people said they were helped by it. So look for that video, Lucretia, and then ask the question in that comment section more particular to your situation once you get that perspective. Somebody said, I think my question got lost in the sauce, Jamia. It probably did. It absolutely did. I don't think my wife is moderating right now, so I'm gonna be losing more. Usually, my wife be like, "You missed a question," and she'll like text me, but she's I think she's decompressing. We had a busy day, so it's just me today until she starts moving around. Somebody said, "I think ugly women have higher marriage rates." Do you agree? I'm gonna be honest. I can't disagree. At least in my experience, and I'm not old or experienced enough to say this for sure, but I've noticed that the more physically the women who were not as physically gifted with being attractive have seemed to have more solid, long-lasting relationships. I think that sometimes when you take out the visual stimulus, you start looking for what's in a woman's spirit. You start looking for what's in a woman's personality. Her character traits, the things that absolutely matter to sustain a relationship. And for men who are looking for those things above what a woman looks at, those things can't be taken away by age. They can't be taken away by anything. Like a woman's essence is much more lasting than her beauty, her physical beauty, and her essence can be beautiful. Her energy can be beautiful. Her spirit can be beautiful. And the same thing with guys. Guys have inner beauty. You can't call it inner handsome, but inner beauty, right? And when you attracted to a person's inner beauty, that's less likely to fade. Because it's a part of who they are. It is them. You can get bored with looking at somebody. You can see something every day, and it can lose its effect on you. Like I said, there's a shitty saying that says, you show me a beautiful woman, I'll show you a guy tired of banging her. And I don't know who made that shit up, and it's not something I like, but it's kind of a true statement. There are a lot of beautiful women out here, and it's some, after the new car shine is off of a person, you just kind of get bored with just looking at them, if they fine or not. You can always be impressed by them. You can always like how they look, but it will not be enough to sustain a relationship on its own. So yes, sometimes women that we consider ugly or less attractive, do have successful relationships because the guys that they do attract are attracted to the right things. But again, across the board, there are just as many beautiful women who are beautiful on the inside and outside. So, I don't want to blanket that statement, but it's absolutely true to a degree. People want sex with beautiful people. After the sex is gone, there is nothing. That's a true enough statement. I really can't disagree with that. Somebody said Jamie Spriggs mine too. I'm wondering if they're talking about I missed their questions. I'm so sorry if y'all put a whole bunch of symbols or something, and I might see them when I scroll down. Write your questions in capitals. That look, life to be lived has got me figured out. You always in this chat room, so I know you know how to get my attention. Probably so. Capital letters just stick out to people. But I'll try to get back to it in a minute. Somebody said. Somebody said, not true. I'm always attracted to intelligence. I guess referring to the one gentleman's comment. There's nothing more refreshing than an intelligent man. I found that to be true as well. Like I said, people are attracted to a lot of different things. It's not always just about physicality. Somebody said, please answer. I think I might have answered her question. Subconscious is not a sexual, a succubus is not a sexual thing. Okay. We can agree to disagree. What do you say to a man who claims you sexually, but you're not official? If a man claims you sexually, but you're not official, you're just his bed warmer. He's not your man. He's not claiming you. I think he's found a way to trick you into thinking that you have some status that you don't. A man can claim, like I don't understand how you even. Please tell me you're not being claimed by a man sexually, but you're not official. That makes no sense at all. He's just basically saying, this is my booty, and don't hit it. Don't let nobody else hit it, but I'm going to do what I want to do. Don't disrespect yourself like that, because you're not a victim of that if you allow that to happen. LA, $10 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. She said, I love your content, Kev. Keep doing your thing. I'm happy single now after 5 years and finally realizing myself, my self-worth. Please tell these women to go to therapy. Best decision ever. I've been telling them. I told them in my last video. I keep telling people to go to therapy. Therapy is wonderful from what I hear. I don't even have nothing going on, and I'm on the therapy bandwagon so much that I want to go to therapy anyway to figure out if I secretly have something going on. Like, therapy seems to help everybody gain a bit more clarity. And so I always advocate therapy. Thank you so much, LA. For the $10 super chat, and I really think that you're owning something, and these women should be going to therapy and be working through the issues that they encounter in life, because Sometimes your girlfriends just don't have the answers, or a YouTuber for that matter. I don't know if I can get this off. Let me see. Okay, somebody said a peace stiller. Um, Somebody said associate with someone who was a complete jerk to me. It's an associate of someone who is a complete jerk to me is showing interest. Jerk and I would never, and Jerk and I were never exclusive. No one knew about me because the jerk has women on rotation. Okay, so a friend of your ex who was horrible and didn't tell anybody about you, who probably wasn't your man if he was dating in secret. Uh, Maybe you wasn't dating in secret. I might have read into that too much. Anyway, an ex of your, a friend of your ex, is showing interest. If he was a bad guy, and I don't know, I can't really speak to whether or not that's appropriate. It's appropriate on your end because the guy didn't treat you right, but I don't know about their relationship, how close they was. It's still a bro code. So just because he was horrible to you and you don't owe him nothing, don't mean his mans and them don't. If his friend is dating his ex, I think that's a bit shitty. Unless they're just not that close. Uh, Somebody said beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's absolutely true. Somebody said I'm noticing men really don't want to date like I remember. They're not suggesting movies, dinner, or any real outings. I'm not with it. I keep having to end it. I did it today. I'm noticing that too, but you got to remember, a lot of women aren't requiring that. Things like times change, and it's not always men. Like the sometimes if in an ecosystem, if a dating, like I said, a dating ecosystem, it becomes a culture to do certain things, and if a lot of women in that culture, or a lot of women in a dating ecosystem aren't requiring dates, then you start getting the guys who have just been out with a bunch of girls and went to their house or went to a bar and didn't have to put any effort into getting to know them. You have to switch ecosystems. You have to switch dating pools, so to speak, because that one's just tainted. But you're absolutely right. A lot of guys aren't realizing that they have to do any of those things right now, and it's just really weird. I don't know how you would even get to know a woman without, um, without putting a bit of effort into taking her out and enjoying her company. Like, what will you do in a relationship if you can't get a guy to take you out when he's trying to impress you? If a man's not trying to impress you now, then you got a shitty relationship coming on the way. Like, the potential for that relationship to be exciting is none because he's not even trying to impress you right now. So that's got to be something you got to worry about. Tiki Peoples, appreciate the $10 super chat. I didn't even ask a question. That's love. I appreciate that. She said, Keva said, I'm no. I just read that one. Look at that. Let me skip down here. I'm a single mom. Daniel Brown says I'm a single mom and I'm looking for a good God-fearing man. How would I know if a man is really is really a man who wants me for me, but most importantly loves and treats my son like he should? Oh, cool. I got a video. One of the videos I have in my back pocket, so to speak, is a video for single parents trying to date, and so I'll be releasing that soon. But there are a lot of things. I think that the main thing, one of the main things you want to look out for is if a man avoids meeting your son. Now you have to obviously have a solid relationship and a solid rapport with that gentleman first. You don't want to let these guys meet your son until they become important enough to meet your son. They have to be worthy. Obviously, you have to have already have vetted them. You don't want to be letting new guys just enter your son's life and his energy. A man should never see, or a young boy should never see his mom, filing through guys. That can be very disturbing. I know I've watched my mom's dating life since I was very young, and I've always had my own judgments, and so you never know what your son is taking in from these experiences and meeting these guys. But you also want to make sure that when you do present your son to these people and you present them to him, that there's an effort on that gentleman's part to make sure that the son feels accepted by him. And sometimes a guy can be banging your mom and not giving a damn about you and just, hey, little kid, You know, I think that it's very, very important that a man can learn how to show affections for your son and connect with him. And if you see that effort, then that's a good sign. But I'll talk more about that in my dating as a single parent video. And I don't know if that's going to be the exact title, but I think it provides some perspective. And I have a very unique one because my mom was single and dating for the majority of my childhood up until I was about 13. Now, when I was 13, I think she got married, and so I was watching for a long time, and just observing. And so I have a very unique perspective because I've experienced it as the kid meeting the new guy, judging his intentions, trying to figure out what the hell was going on while he was in my house or cooking bad breakfast and shit. So I have something to impart on that conversation. So I'll try to get that to you guys soon. Let me see. Somebody said love at first sight. Is your vagina talking to you? Probably so, fitness mom. I think the vagina has probably told her that. I damn sure don't think a person's spirit is telling them love at first sight. I think that everything else is. Everything else. Somebody said, oh, never mind. I didn't realize my live keeps buffering. You probably answered it already. Somebody said, Keva, there is no courting. Makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah, it makes me sick too. But remember, you get what you receive what you accept. If you tell the man up front, hey, this is what's required, and you stick fat and you stay steadfast in your standards. If a guy's interested in you, he'll move around. He'll make the adjustments. If a guy didn't have any interest in you anyway, then he won't make the adjustments. That's the beauty. That's the beautiful thing about it. That even though there is less courting with guys trying to woo women, immediately, if a man's not going to court you, then he has no real intentions. Like immediately, like if a man's interested, he's going to court you. He's going to try to woo you. That's the prerequisite. That's a prerequisite of interest. So if a man's not showing you any courtship efforts, and he is not trying to woo you, he does not care about you. He's trying to hit it. And so it allows these guys to eliminate themselves to an aware mind. If a woman's aware and she's conscious of that, you can always just skip the dumb stuff because you know exactly what a guy's after. If he's refusing to take you out to dinner, but he just wants to pop by your house, let's just chill. Let's just watch a movie. And you ain't even met this girl. The first time you meet her, you trying to Netflix and chill, or you trying to hang out at a bar somewhere. Like, come on, man. It becomes very obvious what a man's intentions is, and so intentions are. But so you got to take the good with the bad. The good thing is the good side of that is he's giving up his position, and you won't be tricked by him pretending to be something he's not. He's actually so lazy that he won't even pretend to like you. Oh, somebody said I started therapy for couples. He didn't show up. A year later, I'm with the same therapist. Well, I'm glad you found a good therapist, but I hope you ditched his ass because clearly he's not interested in working on a relationship. Moody Jim. Somebody said, how does the man know he's falling in love with the woman? About the same way a woman knows. We just handle it differently. While it might be very, very exciting for women, sometimes depending on the man, it can be very, very scary, very, very anxiety inducing. And not all the time. Sometimes it feels really good too, but you just, man, as a guy, you just really try to protect yourself. Guys are always trying to protect themselves, and women are dangerous. Women can be absolutely treacherous. I know we talk a lot about how guys do this and guys do that, but man, I swear to God, man, women do exactly the same stuff as well and as badly as some of these guys do. And I've experienced some horrible, horrible women. And they exist, and they are out here, and they are mixed and mingled within the regular nice women. So y'all running around here trying to avoid these horrible guys, and guys are running around here trying to avoid these horrible women, these whorish using women that will lie. They have one man fixing shit in their house. They got another man who gives them money. They got another man who listens to their problems. And all of these guys think they're next in line. And then it's another dude that she's been stuck on for 4 or 5 years and will never stop trying to be with. None of these guys have a chance. They just being used. Other women just scrape a man for everything he's worth. And so you gotta remember, and I haven't been through that. Like I tricking off is not a thing of mine. But I'm just saying, women have been as treacherous to men as men have been to women, and so I think it just takes all of us trying to be better for ourselves first, and you have to be the change you wish to see in the world. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Treat people how you want to be treated. I'm gonna try to skip through. Somebody say, good evening, Kev. Yeah, man, good evening. I understand people gotta go to sleep. Not me though. Not right now. Not until I think I'm gonna be on here till maybe 1 if I don't get tired. What does it mean when a guy text online any two? Hold on. What does it mean? Okay, somebody's speaking from another. Any 2 days is it a bad sign? Every two text you online every 2 days is the bad sign. We talked for 2 weeks now. Okay, I think I'm a bit confused about your question, Lily. Can't even pronounce your last name. I appreciate it though. If a guy's only, I think what you're saying is if a guy only texts you every couple of days, is it a bad sign? No, it's not a bad sign. He might just be consistently distant. He may be putting an effort in to not look too over interested or overzealous about how he thinks the relationship's going. People don't want to wear out their welcome. Everybody's trying to save face in relationships, and it requires some tactics on a part of a guy to strategically not contact a woman just so it looks like he has something else going on. No one wants to appear desperate, and sometimes that's the biggest problem, is that everybody's trying to appear more together than they are, and no one is practicing any emotional honesty. You just pass me around. Okay. Somebody says, so there's a guy at my job that I want to get to know. The thing is, there's another guy that works with us too, and he flirts with me a lot. I think it's pushing the guy I like away. What should I do? I think that you should start talking to the guy that you like more. I don't know, like, it's okay to be social. Just be friendly with the guy you like and gravitate toward him. And if the two of them are in the room, you go up to the one you like and, hey, how you doing? How was your weekend? Just build a rapport with the guy you like, and when he's around and the guy that flirts with you a lot is around, make sure that you're hanging out with him a bit more if you're cool enough to do that. But if he always sees you flirting with a guy, he's definitely gonna give y'all space, because no one wants to be the third wheel. So you're gonna have to just start showing him more attention and ignoring the other guy that flirts with you a little bit more, if you don't think that he's worth the sacrifice of pushing that other guy away. But if I liked a girl, or I knew a girl, if I was in the same position and a girl was spending all her time with another guy, or I was always feeling like a third wheel around them, I would be pushed away too. I would get the hell away from her, and I would let her do her thing with him, because I would start to feel like she was his territory, and vice versa. Men are territorial, and we don't want to encroach, and so that's something you got to be aware of. Spend more time in the face of the guy that you like, not in a desperate way, but Yeah, Broken J 21. Thanks for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate the super chat. You didn't have to, but you did. And also, if you're having trouble getting your questions read, super chat will get your question highlighted at the top of the screen, and I'll see your question. So if you're willing to donate something, I can probably see your question a lot better if you've been having trouble getting your question answered. Just throwing it out there. She said, I have 2 questions. Do you think you'll do a video about a good first date questions? Oh, that's a really good question. And how do you let a guy know that you have other options? Let me write that down. A good first date questions. I think that's a really good video idea. Good first date questions. I'm texting it to my wife just so I don't forget. Good first date questions. Okay, and you said I'm gonna do a video on that. That's a really cool video. I want to do that. And she said, and how do you let a guy know that you have other options? I think that you don't go out of your way to let a guy know that you have other options unless he asks. That's not something you want to volunteer. So if I'm on a date with a girl, this happened to me before. I used to date this girl who was obsessed with Megan Good, and she looked a lot like Megan Good, and she had been told that enough, and she was very, very beautiful. And so she, and I liked Megan Good, so it was like, oh man, I'm dating this girl that looked like Megan Good. It was good for me too. But when I was on the date with her, she would always make sure to try to allude to the fact that there were other guys in line, and that she was trying to intimidate me into basically acting a certain way, and being more subservient to her. She was trying to manipulate the way I dealt with her, because she wanted to intimidate me away from upsetting her, or treating her a particular way. Um, it just irritated the hell out of me. She would always allude to these other dudes, and it was only a tactic to control me, and I didn't like it, and so it just caused me to leave her alone completely. Like, I'm not, like, I don't have to deal with that type of stuff from women. Like, and I didn't at the time. I'm married now, so I don't deal with none of it. But at the time, I'm like, man, listen, I have my pick of young women, and I don't really have to deal with this competitive shit. I'm not into it. I feel like I was coming from a genuine place, and being honest with her about where I was coming from and what I was interested in, and she was just playing. She was playing games, playing mind games, and so to answer your question, Broken Jay, how do you let a guy know that you have other options? Never go out of your way to put that in his face. But if a gentleman is asking, then you answer honestly, but always keep the air of ambiguity. Keep an air of ambiguity. You don't have to tell him the details. Just let him know that, hey, there are other people, but I'm talking to you right now, and you can allude to liking him more if you want to buffer his disappointment. But I only really share that information if it's being asked for. If you're trying to use it as a tactic, it will usually blow up in your face. Uh, and if you do, again, create an air of ambiguity. Don't expound upon any of those ideas. Just say, hey, there are other guys trying to, I know some other guys that are interested, but whatever. Like, you have to get off of that subject quick, because all you can do is really piss a guy off, especially because guys are territorial. And if a guy's spending his money on you and he's trying to take you out, and he thinks he's working hard, the last thing he wants to hear is that you don't appreciate his efforts, and that he's just one of the many. Um, Most guys will just move on. Damn, I can't. For whatever reason, I can't remove. I think my comment section is frozen. Let me see. My comment section seems to be frozen. I'm gonna remove your comment. I'm gonna try to remove your comment. I can't get to my damn comment section. Is frozen. That's weird. Let me see if I can remove the comment, and maybe it'll. Nope, my comment section is frozen. Okay, I got it. Ugh, man, that was weird. God love freedom. Uh, God love freedom. Thanks for the 199 super chat. Man, my comment was frozen. My comment section was frozen. I couldn't see crap for a minute. Thank you for the 199 super chat. I appreciate it. Somebody said, Spread Love said, man, I'm missing this dumbass boy, and I want him to text me. Unfortunately, um, that's just how life goes. Somebody said, I think men have done more damage to women than the other way around, historically speaking, for the past 200 to 2,000 to 3,000 years. Well, of course, but we're just talking about dating and people, and we're not talking about the history of the world. Yes, the history of the world is ravaged with all kind of destruction, and we can argue for days about who committed the most destruction. But that's not necessary, and it's not irrelevant to the dating cycle, or the dating atmosphere as we know it today. Let me try to get to. Whew. Somebody said it sucks. I know everyone has some baggage, but I like to know. I like low to no drama. At Saffron, it gets frustrating, and my comment section just jumped. My bad. Somebody said, thanks, Kev. Question is, what are the stages of courting or dating? I think that would require me to organize my thoughts a bit more than I probably can right now. But obviously there's some interest. There's getting familiar, making an impression on people. And then there's a general digging of information, of trying to discover that person. And after you discover enough, You decide if you want to court them, right? And from that point, there's a general wooing phase where people are both trying to impress each other. They both put their best foot forward. They're making efforts to make each other smile and just enjoy each other. They're both trying to be entertaining and trying to be fun. I think there's a very important stage because it shows that effort shows the genuine interest. And after they've exhausted those opportunities, then there's a real connection building stage where the closeness and the vulnerabilities are shared and the dependencies are established. So there's a lot of stages, but I'd probably have to organize my thoughts to give you, the stages of courting. But I think that's a good video. So I'm gonna text that to my wife. Stages of courtship. Good video of courtship. Thank you, iPhone. Somebody said my N-word. True that. Your comments, it held for review. If you say the N-word, I get it, but I had to put that N-word in my restricted comments list because every once in a while I get somebody coming into my comment section telling me the N-word, go back to Africa. And I ain't going no damn where, and this ain't y'all country. For you who think that, but I don't think none of them are here right now. But that's why I had to block the N-word, because every once in a while somebody come in there and told me the N-word, go back to my country. But I show yours just because it's love. Let me see. Somebody said, Kev, I've only had one serious relationship at 17. I haven't found anyone since. Is there something wrong with me because I can't figure out what it is? No, I doubt that there's something wrong with you. I think that a lot of people are hoping for a relationship and they're wishing for a relationship, but they're not working for a relationship. You have to work for it as much as you wish for it. Somebody said, Kev, it's football watching time. Why are you live now? What the heck? Where are you watching football at 12 midnight? I don't watch football, so that's probably why I don't know the answer to that question. So you go watch your football and watch it later. I'll be all right. I'll answer you in the comment section if you ask a late question. But yeah, I don't think that I don't know how to something 888. I don't think that nothing is inherently wrong with you, but a lot of times people want a relationship, and then when I ask them, what are they doing to get the relationship or attain one, they don't have a very long list of efforts. They're just hoping someone notices them, and that is just not how life works. Like, fate is a neutral party. Fate is not in the business of hooking people up or dropping relationships and love in the laps of just random people. I think that you always have to be making sure that you're self-improving and that you're being assertive enough when you find a love interest, because you can't leave it in the hands of fate whether or not somebody will be interested enough in you to want you, and then also be ballsy enough to approach you and court you. Like, there are too many things that can go wrong between you liking somebody and never talking to him and hoping that he approaches you and chooses you. It might not be anything wrong with you. And if it was something wrong with you, there's something wrong with all of us. But at the same time, you have to actually go after what you want to. There's a way to do that. And again, that video is on the way, but I just didn't have time to do any videos this weekend. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Fire Lioness. Man, that's a gangster name you got there, Fire Lioness. I love that. I always refer to a woman's queenship kind of like a lioness energy. A lion is, we can get into that's a whole nother conversation. I'm not going to get into it, but thank you for the $4.99 super chat. She said, do you believe a man should be the one to initiate contact? Do men find it unattractive when women consistently make all the effort? If a man is, I'm going to answer the second question first. If a man is requiring you to answer, to consistently make all the effort, he doesn't find it unattractive because he's lazy and he's actually groomed you to make all the effort. So no. But you said, do you believe a man should be the one to initiate contact? I do believe that it's obviously more common for a man to initiate contact, but I don't think just because somebody found you first or somebody approached you that they like that invalidates the relationship. I'm not I believe in female equality, like to such a degree that I refuse to remove the responsibility that women have to themselves to go after what they want, even if that's a guy. I don't think that it's wrong to approach a man. I think men should obviously be the ones to initiate contact. I think it sets a good precedent, but I think I've been approached enough by females that I know it can turn out very well for that female. And I think that you should go after what you want. And just because you said something first doesn't mean that a man wasn't interested in you. It just means that you said something first. And so, yeah, men should go after females, but I disagree with a lot of basically every other dating coach, quote unquote, dating coach that's the case. I think that people should go after what they want, male or female. Priscilla Asante, thank you for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate it. She said, we like each other. He's in his 20s with a 45-year-old girlfriend and not ready to let go. He's not ready to let go of. I backed out, but I still feel for him. What's your advice? I didn't get a whole lot of information there, but it sounds like you're waiting for a guy that has a girlfriend to leave his girlfriend, and you're the other woman. I just don't advocate for side chickness. Side chickness can last for decades, man. I know women who have been the side chick for 17 years. Like you are just. I mean, she's 45, he's in his 20s, so you clearly aren't going to wait 17 years. But at the same time, she seems to have a hold on him. A lot of times, an older woman can be so majestic to a young man that he's just taken away by her. Like it's hypnotizing sometimes, the allure that an older woman can have over a young man. A lot of young women think, oh, she's 45, she shouldn't have any, but that's not the case, man. An older woman has so much value and so much wisdom and knowledge, and sometimes that can be extremely attractive to a younger man. So that doesn't mean anything. And if she's aging well, this could go on for a few more years, or a decade even. It just depends. And older women usually require more, and they're more set in their standards. And obviously, as a younger woman, you are more lackadaisical in your standards because you're waiting around for this guy that you like to leave his older woman. So she's probably more steadfast in her standards. She requires more of him. She gets more from him, and you're waiting on the sidelines, waiting for this to be over. But unless she drops dead, you could be waiting for a long time. So I think that you should probably pick your standards up about what you require from men, because you're setting the bar pretty low for his conduct, and the conduct of any guy you date. Starting out as the other woman does not usually net you a positive or a healthy relationship. So that's something that you're gonna have to. What the hell is going on with it? That's something that you're gonna have to deal with. But you can't stay the other woman like that. You're gonna have to figure something out. Okay. Somebody said a side piece is a reliable source. Yeah, a reliable source of sex. Let me see. Keep yourself busy, work on yourself, look cute, go to school, level the hell up, and a boss man who knows your worth will pursue you. That's exactly right to a degree. But sometimes men just aren't in the habit of pursuing women or approaching them. I think that once a relationship starts, a man starts to pursue, even if he's shy. But that's after the contact is made, the impressions are made, and he feels comfortable and welcome. But as far as approaching men or approaching women, I don't think that we should employ any rigidity in the rules of who should be doing what as far as the initial interaction or approach. Because I've been approached by a lot of women. And it's not common, but over the years I've been approached, I don't know, maybe a dozen times. And I tell you what, I never feel like, oh man, she took my manhood, I can't talk to her now because she approached me. Listen, I enjoy being approached. It makes a man feel really good to know that he's so handsome that a woman would step outside of the normal gender roles to allow him the opportunity to get to know her. And I've always been very flattered, and I've had some very good experiences after being approached by women. And I got a video coming up about that, so I'm not even gonna go into it. But there's a lot to learn about that. Bitch face, be what? If somebody said, well, it's all about the bitch face, be welcoming, just like you said in your video. Yes, man, listen, if you're not welcoming, nobody's going to approach you. I'm so tired of girls that I know to be very, very off putting and standoffish in their energy. Very rejective. I don't even know if rejective is a tense of the word. I just made it up. But that's how it feels. People are rejective. I'm really making up that word. I think I am. But like when they see people, they look past them, they look through them, they pretend they're not looking at a person, and then they wonder why nobody approaches them. No guys are talking to them. It's like because you reject the world. Men measure your level of excitement when encountering them. They measure your level of engagement. They measure your level of openness. And if you're not open and you're not excited, and you encounter a guy and you pretend you didn't see anybody, or you look around him, then no, he's not going to approach you. He's going to feel rejected. You're giving off vibes that you don't want anything from him. He doesn't have any value to you. So no, he's not going to approach you. People approach happy people who make them feel welcome to approach. What did they say, the women who approached me first? I've been approached like, some women will approach you like a gentleman, and other women will approach you like a groupie. I've been called. I think the one that always gets me and makes me smile is when a woman approaches me in some form. I don't know how. I can't really paraphrasing now because it's been a minute. But if a girl, anytime a girl's called me beautiful, I just like, it was like, huh? Like it took me back a bit because you don't expect to hear that. You know what I'm saying? And I know you don't feel feminine when you hear it either. You feel like, damn, like I'm so handsome, I've crossed into beautiful. Because men never feel like they can, men understand that women are just so much better looking. Like even a handsome man is nothing compared to a very beautiful woman. So I understand beautiful because I like when I feel like somebody's beautiful, like I understand the level of I don't even know what to call it, but that's a higher level, man, of attractive. So when I've been called beautiful a few times, that like it threw me off, and I don't want to be called beautiful all the time. I'm not sitting around with my legs crossed, snapping my wrist, acting like, hey, man, but being called beautiful has always stood out to me because it seems it's different and it's a bit bold. But I've had women approach me like a gentleman, hey, I just seen you from across the room. You know how Alicia Keys, if y'all ever heard that "You Don't Know My Name" song, when she calls up the dude at the coffee shop, and she's like, yeah, you get the cream and the coffee, and she just talking to him like a gentleman. I've been approached like that a few times. Like a girl would get my number, and I just pick up the phone, and somebody be like, hey, you don't know me, but. And she'll just give me the Alicia Keys game from the "You Don't Know My Name" video, and man, that is very, very flattering. I've received that a number of times. A lot of times, the girls would get my number when I was out here. Like a woman would get my number, and she would call me, and just I don't know where they was getting this game from, but man, it was working on me. But yeah, I don't think that men are as rigid about who approaches them as y'all think. Somebody said, I fear rejection. That's why I don't approach men. You should fear letting the right man, the wrong man approach you and giving him your time. If you see a guy that you know has what you need and you don't approach him, and then some guy that has nothing to offer you approaches you, and just because he had the balls to approach you, you entertain him, you could waste a lot of time, a lot of life, and a lot of emotional stability dealing with a man who doesn't value you while you were looking right at a man who would give you everything you needed, but you were afraid of rejection. Like I just don't let fear make my decisions for me. I don't advocate for saving face. Listen, embarrassment isn't the worst. It's not the end of the world to be embarrassed. Okay. Humiliation lasts for a moment. Man, y'all got to stop. And I'm not going in on you in particular. I don't even know whose comment that was, but y'all got to stop living your lives to look good. To be seen positively. Sometimes you're going to embarrass yourself. You're going to humiliate yourself. Like I'm doing this. I talk to thousands and thousands of people a week. I talk to 1 million people a month. This last month, I talked to over 1 million people watch my videos. You think I got time to be worried about if somebody rejects my message or thinks I'm an idiot or thinks I'm ugly or doesn't like my crooked bottom teeth or whatever the hell? I just don't give a fuck about that. Like, I don't care. Say the F word. Sorry, Christian folk. Blah blah blah. Anyway, I just don't care enough to try to look good for people constantly. You can't put that type of pressure on yourself, being rejected and being embarrassed or being humiliated. The fear of rejection is more about the fear of humiliation, fear of awkward moments. Sometimes you got to embrace the awkward moment. And if you can get used to or learn or train yourself to embrace the awkward moment, man, you can have a wonderful life, free of a lot of inhibitions that cause people to mute themselves and miss out on a lot of opportunities. Somebody said, "Were you approached by your wife?" No, 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 no. I approached my wife, uh, but it was on the internet, so I don't even count that as an approach. I think on the internet it's just a free for all. Anybody can approach anybody on the internet, but when you talking about on the um when you talking about in person, you definitely need to just boss up a little bit, man. At least smile, wave, do something. Damn it. But no, I approached my wife, and that's not the reason it worked. That's just what happened. Um, Let me see. Mm, Somebody said, "Be upfront. Say what you want. Ask, and ye shall be given." Basically, yeah, you have not because you ask or not, and I believe in that scripture. You sometimes you just gotta go for what you want, man. You can't be running around trying to figure out how to avoid disappointment in life. Just prepare yourself, fortify your defenses, and go forward. Do you answer every question from everyone? I try to, but I just can't get to everyone. So there are probably a dozen or so questions I haven't answered in this comment section, and it's not on purpose. I just can't get to everybody. Like, it's 295 people watching at the moment, and there may be 20 people who have questions, and I might be able to answer like 10 of them just because I can see them, but I can't see them all because the text just keeps streaming. Um, MWAYOE. I don't know what that stands for. How to my way? Oh, I don't. Forgive me. I'm sure that's a name or something from another country. She said, "Just supporting your videos are super helpful." Gave me $2 on super chat. I appreciate that. Uh, I got a $10 super chat from Vanessa Harris. Hey, Vanessa. She said, "Thank you for all you do, Kev." I appreciate you, Vanessa. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Vanessa does very well. Vanessa actually listens to my advice. Some people don't. They just, I mean, I guess you keep asking me the same questions over and over again, and I feel like you're not listening. I'm gonna probably keep answering the questions, but it's really nice when somebody actually starts applying these concepts we talk about and they see results. It gets me very, very happy, and it's validation that I'm doing the right things in my life. And Vanessa always makes the right moves after I talk to her, so I'm very excited for Vanessa, and thank you. Mm. Somebody said, "There's a guy who claims he likes me but hasn't texted me in a while. He really only looks at my Snapchats. I'm confused. If he isn't interested, then why view my stuff?" Uh, Two things. First of all, if a guy's Facebook stalking you, or social media, Snapchat or Instagram stalking you, but he's not making any advances or any approaches, he's probably not available. He probably has a situation that requires a bit of responsibility on his part. He's not allowed to make an approach or really be entertaining you, but he wants to. Also, if a guy claims he likes you, but he hasn't texted you in a while, he's texting somebody. You got to understand, somebody's getting his attention. So again, he's probably talking to somebody. But if a guy claims he likes you and all you're receiving is text messages, y'all got to start requiring more from these men than these sorry ass text messages. I'm sorry, y'all just a text message is not, that doesn't require any effort at all. And some people are so disappointed when these situations don't turn into anything, but they don't require anything. If all a man has to do is text you, "What you doing? What you up to?" So like that, you're not getting anything from him. So y'all stop having these text only relationships and start requiring these men to get on the phone. That's how you build a rapport. That's how you build a connection. Is talking to a person, and preferably in person. But on the phone is the second best thing. But these text message relationships y'all got, and the requirement that a guy just texts you every couple of days, man, y'all got the standards so low for these dudes that's why y'all having these issues with these men, because y'all don't require anything from them. Dude can text a girl like 10 times and meet up with her and get some butt. He ain't gonna do nothing else. He ain't gonna do you no more, because that's all you require. And I'm not saying that I'm just saying y'all need to require more. Deidre McCoy, thank you for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate you. She said, just supporting you, sir. Thank you, Kev. Man, I appreciate that. I really do. And I guess I'll plug my, I do have a Patreon. You can support me on Patreon. You can support me by donating on PayPal. You can support me by asking a question and donating to get your question answered. I don't charge for emails per se, like a specific amount, but now my emails do require a donation on the part of the person asking a question, because I would keep getting these 2 and 3 page emails, and spending 20 and 30 and 40 minutes having these conversations with people, and I don't have nothing to show for it, so I can't do that anymore. But I let people donate any amount they're comfortable with, and I answer your questions. You can write kevhicktalksguyswithgirls@gmail.com and donate to the PayPal, or you can, in which the thing I prefer is that you just go to PayPal, make the donation of any amount. I don't give a crap if it's $2, $5, $10, whatever. But you can go to PayPal, make the donation, and then PayPal doesn't have a character limit, so you can write your whole question in PayPal, and then I'll write your email address that you leave back from my email address, and that's how I kind of keep track of them. So that's the easier way. Is to write your question in PayPal with your donation, and then I'll write you back from the email on the email that you leave. So a lot of people ask about emails. That's the policy now. If you do write kevhicktalksguyswithgirls@gmail.com, you will get a kickback vacation message giving you the instructions on how to email me the new way, because I can no longer do 100 free emails a week. It's just too much time. And like I said, I got a family. I got 2 kids. People have needs around here. So while I'm trying to do the good deed, I also have to make sure that I'm protecting my energy and requiring something for my time. Somebody said rejection is nothing. When you are rejected, you lose nothing. You are no worse off before rejection than after. Exactly. Fitness Mom, you be on point, man. Thank you for all the things you be saying in the comment sections. You be in here really representing. It's like, listen, if you tell yourself no, did anything change? Like, nothing changed. If you want a guy, if you want anything, if you tell yourself no, you're not going to have it. Just like if you tried and failed, you have a chance of attaining the things you want, or the people or the relationships you want, if you give it a shot. But if you just, for lack of a better word, bitch out, then you don't have a chance at all. You've already rejected yourself. It won't happen. The only thing you can be sure of is that you won't get anything that you won't go after. You will not receive things that you don't work for. That's the only thing we're sure of. After that, you always have a chance. There's always a chance, a possibility that you can get the thing that you want if you're willing to work for it. And so that's just something that we all have to remember. And fearing rejection is that, and rejecting ourselves, where it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You'll never have the things you want if you're always afraid to not have them, or to not attain them after trying. Some people are as afraid of trying as they are of failing. And unfortunately, if you're afraid of trying, you will always fail. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Do you think in viewing my stuff means he's just clicking on it? Yeah. I'm not sure if that's your avatar, but you look like a pretty girl. I feel like if he's attracted to you, he's gonna want to look at you. If he wants more, or if he just wanted to hit it and didn't really get that far, he's gonna look at you. Guys like looking at beautiful women, and even if he hasn't taken advantage of his opportunity to get to know you, probably because he's talking to other women, or he has a woman. Which looks like, if he doesn't have a reason for staying away from you, and he's always looking at your stuff, is because he probably has a relationship and he doesn't want to murk it up by trying to juggle 2 women at one time or 3 women or whatever his situation is. But that doesn't take away his interest, the interest that he has in you. But we don't know if his interest is physical or, how deep it is. Clearly, he's not giving you his time. He's giving it to somebody else. Somebody's talking to him. Men don't go away and disappear and ghost you just to go be alone in a room by themselves. That's not how that works. When a man goes in you, somebody else is getting his time. He's texting somebody else. No single man is, no single dating man, eligible man is not talking to anybody and ghosting beautiful women to just sit alone in his house. That's not how that works. So, that's something to consider. Some younger generation don't pursue women. Older men pursue and are not afraid of rejection because they know who they are. Absolutely, but that takes some maturity. That takes some life experience. A lot of times, Miss Monica, for real. A lot of times, in a man's lifetime, he gets accustomed to rejection and disappointment, and learns in time with wisdom that rejection will come inevitably if you reject yourself first, and if you refuse to try. But young men have to learn that lesson through regret, right? So. I learned me personally. I learned that not going after the things that I wanted would get me worse results than trying and failing. Even if it's not women, if it was goals or anything like in basketball, I learned that if I passed the ball instead of taking the shot or trying to dunk it on somebody, that I would just I wouldn't. You can't score if you don't shoot. And that's in life in general. You cannot score if you don't shoot. And so, but literally in basketball, I had to learn that. I had a few seasons that were disappointing because I just wasn't aggressive enough. I was afraid that, well, I'll piss coach off, he's gonna take me out the game, and then I'm gonna have to sit down. And I don't want to be the guy on the bench because that's embarrassing. And you got all this anxiety around the potential rejection and failure, and it causes you to fail. Right, it causes more rejection and more failure. So you have to learn how to mitigate the damage on the long term scale that you encounter in life by just going after what you want and understanding that failure is a part of the process. But you can only get as high as you are willing to fail. You can't fall if you don't jump, or if you don't. I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to make up no shit right here. I'm just saying you can only get as high as you fail. If you don't try, you'll never have anything to worry about. You never have anything to worry about failing because there's no attempt. Adrian Anderson gave me $10 just on the strength. I don't see a question. I hope you didn't have a question, and if you did, let me know and I'll try to find it in the comment section. Everybody tell me where Adrian Anderson's question is. But Adrian Anderson gave me $10, and I really appreciate that super chat. Thank you so much. Like I said, man, it really helps me out. A lot of people ask of me, but very, very rarely do people give to me. And on these lives, a lot of times people show me love like that. But man, if y'all seen the hundreds and hundreds of messages in my inbox and then seeing the amount of actual donations I got for my time, you'd be like, okay, you got 200 emails and you got 10 donations. 12 donations. Like, people are just not in a giving spirit this year. And that's all right. I'm not doing this for tips, but I'm definitely not giving my time to 200 people for nothing. I've made peace with the fact that I can't do that anymore. It was very, very hard to adjust to at first. Somebody said protecting your energy. I like that. I'm just learning to do that. Yeah, I'm just learning how to do it too. I didn't have to do it on such a large scale before, and so that's why I'm relearning it. I've always protected my energy, but I've never had to talk to hundreds of people a month, or potentially 1,000 people a week, or the type of numbers that you can rack up in these relationships. Having a YouTube channel is just insane, and so I've never had to protect myself, my energy against the energy of so many people. So that's been an adjustment, learning how to mitigate my exhaustion by making sure I require more from people who accost me with their life issues. Tanisha W, thank you for the $5 super chat. I really, really, really appreciate it. She said a friend told me I was beautiful, but wasn't attracted to me. My weight. He got pissed because I wouldn't have slept with him. What's that about? I'm a virgin. Okay, so hypothetically speaking, you said you wouldn't have slept with him, so he felt rejected. And you felt a bit rejected because he said he wasn't attracted to you, even though you were beautiful, and he cited your weight. and you said, "What's that about? I'm a virgin." I'm not sure. I'm not sure why he would have. Well, I know why he would have got pissed. He's pissed because he felt rejected when you said you wouldn't have slept with him anyway. Nobody wants to feel rejected. We've been talking this whole time about how people avoid the feeling of rejection, avoid the feeling of failure, and rejection and failure are the things that cause you to grow. Um, you can be beautiful but not attractive to a person. That's the thing. If the thing that isn't attractive about you to them is one of the things that they pay the most attention to, we're all shallow enough as humans. We have our interest in where we like what we like, right? So if for whatever reason your weight is a thing that is a turn off for him, even if you're a beautiful spirit, you're a beautiful soul, you're a beautiful face, he might not be able to overcome his affinity for different frames, because I can't tell what your frame would be. You look like you're in damn good shape from your picture. It's a beautiful picture. I like the hair, like the big hair. I'm gonna have some big hair too. But yeah, I don't think that people are inherently bad because they can't get over their shallowness or their tendencies to be attracted to certain things. Um, you're a virgin. That's the good thing. I hope you feel like it's a good thing. I hope you don't feel like you've wasted your time. But yeah, he's offended that you rejected him as he rejected you. I guess he was hoping that you would be in a place where you'd be more attracted to him than he was of you, and he just realized that you probably feel the same way about him. So nobody likes the feeling of rejection, but it happens. That's life, man. Mm. She said I had to edit so many times, didn't even notice my typos. Don't worry about the typos, man. Listen, I talk to so many people. I have so many typos, and it's not that I'm really bad at grammar. It says that you be in a hurry, like especially this chat room is moving so fast. Don't nobody be tripping on no typos in this chat room. Please don't go around grammar hammers correcting people's grammar. That's annoying as hell. And a lot of times when people are typing fast, we all moving. We don't got time to be running around putting colons and commas and all of that shit. We ain't in here for that. We trying to have some good dialogue, some healthy dialogue. And so I don't mind if people have typos. I try to read around people's typos when I'm reading their question. Um, so it's okay. Don't worry about it. I got about 4 minutes left. I got about 4 minutes left because I usually say I got 20 minutes left and I stay on for another 30 minutes. But me and my wife got to get on this homework because we don't want it to beat up our Sunday. We got so much homework to do tomorrow that I don't want to beat up. I don't want to beat up my Sunday by leaving it all. Max Free, is he pushing for a marriage date? EB pronounced EB Jones. I love how you put the pronunciation in the name. That's beautiful. She said, first of all, thank you for the $20 super chat. I really, really, really appreciate it. She said, hey, Kev, your video live chats are so helpful for me as I start dating again after being happily single for almost 2 years. By the way, my screen name is short for my name. Ebony. Oh, I can dig it. Well, I appreciate that, Ebony. I love the super chats. And like I said, you don't have to do it, and you do. You going out of your way for me. So it's always a pleasure to know that I'm helping you, and you getting something from it. So thank you again. And like I said, I love the name. I think that's pretty cool. Ebony. How do you hold on? EB is as long a name as Ebony. Okay. That's cool, but that's all right, man. I appreciate you. Let me see. I got 3 minutes. Let me try to get. I'm gonna just go to a random section of the comment section. Somebody said I knew someone who was married and his whole marriage was via text. Not surprising it didn't last. Not at all. Not at all. Somebody said, what do you do if a guy asks for your number and doesn't call? Should you ask him why he hasn't? I see him in passing on my way to work every other day. So no, you don't want to ask him why he hasn't. I think that sometimes guys do that, and I'll I'm telling you, when I do this video on how to approach a guy, I'll explain that, because that's the concept I work with in that video, and it should be coming up probably next week, probably in the week after. But next week, most likely, I'm gonna try to do 2 videos this week to give people some love back, because I didn't give them a video last weekend. I had to go live, and I didn't give them a video this weekend because I had to go live, because we just been so busy, and because I still have a full-time job, because I don't make enough money on YouTube to support my family. I make a good amount, but I don't make enough. I still got to keep a full-time job. So one day when I'm full-time, y'all get 1 to 2 videos. Y'all probably get 2 videos a week, but until then, I got to do my thing. Broken J 21, thanks for the $10 super chat. She said, "Hey Kev, I wanted to give you more support, because watching your videos has helped me believe that good men exist, and now I know that I have a lot to offer." I'm very, very excited that I'm changing the mindsets of some of the women that are watching my videos. I've noticed that too many women, first of all, don't feel like they have anything to offer. They have lost sight of what the things that they have that are of value, and also that good men exist. Sometimes your decisions can put you in a place to where your dating experience is largely negative. But in taking responsibility for your decisions, and realizing the value that you do have, it can really guide you into a place to where you can tweak your standards and tweak the things that you accept, and actually find the type of guys that you didn't think existed. A lot of good women go home to great men, or a lot of great women go home to great men, and you can be one of them, but you just have to make sure that you're at your best, and you're offering your best, and that you're requiring someone else's best. It's absolutely possible. There are good men out here, and everybody can have one. There are enough good men out here that everybody can get one. So anyway, I appreciate that super chat, Broken J. Look at this. Somebody oh wow, somebody says Jaden Dottie is trolling me. She said, "You're too ugly for girls. Get a job. Stop talking, dumb man." That's what's up, Jaden. That's what's up. Man, these trolls being here for real, don't they? You suck. Look at this. Well, people really think that you see the smile on my face, like the general joy I have at your efforts. I don't understand why people think that they're important enough that for whatever reason I'm going to stop helping people because you told me to shut up. I don't even care to block you, because I don't even care enough to block you. This is insanely stupid. I was about to get off of here though. Let me see. Don't compromise your values for someone who doesn't value you. Keep your virginity. Absolutely. Let me see. I'm trying to rapid fire. How do I know when a person is ready for marriage? Oh, that's a larger conversation, Mags Free. That's a much larger conversation. Man, when they consider you as much as they consider themselves, and they're willing to sacrifice for you as much as you're willing to sacrifice for them. When their self-love and their love for you is equal. When they are selfless as it pertains to fulfilling your needs, maybe then. But that's a much larger conversation. So I guess that's the short of it. Let me see. Mesmerized by the kind. That's what's up. I think she maybe because I'm kind. I don't know. I'm gonna take that as a compliment. We gonna do our thing. I'm gonna take that one. Take that one and run. It just seems to get approached by men that's barely legal, on one foot in the grave and on a banana peel. No betwixt really. I'm sure y'all had a context that y'all was speaking in. I feel you though. Walked away from my marriage because she wouldn't go away, and he wasn't looking for anything to keep her away. I blame him, not her. Yeah, if a guy's entertaining another woman and you can't seem to get the other woman out of his life, then she has a hold on him, and that alludes to a bit of emotional cheating. So that can definitely be a problem. Let me see. Separated for years, haven't physically seen my husband in years. Do you think I should start dating? Hell yes, you should start dating. If you hasn't physically seen your husband in years, you should probably get a divorce. I don't know why you would stay married unless you just can't afford the divorce proceedings. And will men take me seriously even if I really have nothing to do with my husband? Yeah, men will take you serious, but you need to figure out why you still married and you don't have a relationship or even a contact with your husband for years. That's kind of weird. Unless again you got some finances tied to him or some citizenship tied to your marriage. I don't know how that works. But I do know it seems like a bit counterintuitive that you just stay in a marriage and you haven't seen your husband in years and you're not dating. Um, you should probably practice some self love and get a bit of counseling too, because I don't know why you require so little for your own happiness. Um, Glenn Pab, Glenn Pab 84. Thank you so much for your $20 super chat. I really appreciate it. Love the natural hair in the picture too. I'm going natural myself. Give me some locks. Um, I've been binge watching your videos and I share them with friends. Just thankful for all the info and advice that you give is necessary nowadays. Men don't want to commit, just looking for a good time. Shaking my head. Yeah, a lot of men aren't looking to commit, but I don't think that these guys are. I'm not sure if they're more prevalent than they were. I guess they are, especially the younger generation. They just don't have we and they just don't have the same frame of reference. They haven't seen as many healthy relationships. This is a generation who's grown up under a 50-year divorce rate. So the frame of reference to having a healthy relationship, it just is not in them. They haven't seen it. They haven't witnessed it. So they don't trust the institution of marriage or commitment for that matter. So yeah, you're absolutely right. But there are still as many men that don't want a relationship and only want to lay down as many women as they can. There are that many men who want a relationship, who are nice guys, who are just looking for the same thing that these women are looking for. The problem is that those type of men aren't normally giving these other women butterflies and making them feel, all the sparks and shit. And so these guys are single and they think there are no good women around. And these good women are dating a bunch of emotionally unavailable men who don't value them at all. And so they say, well, there's no good men around. And I just think if people adjusted their sight to the right qualities in a person, that then maybe these two good people can meet more often than not. But what to say, what to do. That's my time. It's 1:06. I got a shit ton of Spanish homework to do with my wife, or attempt to do with her. I got to speak Spanish to her on a recording while she speaks her Spanish. And man, I told you I haven't done well in Spanish. So to all my Latinas out there, man, my brother needs some help. But I don't know, man. We're going to figure it out. We're going to try it. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining me, even the haters in the comment section. My wife wasn't moderating, so I didn't get to kick anybody out of the chat room yet because I just can't see enough. I can't see enough of the comments to even block anybody or anything like that. So sorry for people who are a little bit irritated about us trolls. I don't really give a damn about no troll. They ain't stopping my stuff. They ain't feeding my kids or nothing. But y'all have a wonderful night. I'll try to get with y'all next weekend. I'm trying to go live at least once a week. I've tried to commit myself to that, but also I need to get y'all a video up soon. So look for a video about Monday or Tuesday. And I'll get with y'all later, man. Y'all have a wonderful night. Good night. Let me try to hit the end stream button. Got to hit it twice now.